To the beat home. To the beat home. To the beat home. To the beat home.
Well, good morning, family. It is 7 minutes past the hour on this 7th day of October. Woo! Tell the Truth Tuesday. And man, as I turned on the news, woke up this morning, got my morning started. Welcome to hashtag Truth Be Told, JD Live, your early morning get up, wake up. Your 1 hour information, inspiration, motivation, conversation that promotes elevation. Man, I'm praying for all my people in the Chi. I see it's about to go down. And a part of me fully understands all sides of the story. I am a little bit confused on the federal side why this troop deployment is necessary in a urban city. However, what the governor and the mayor of Chicago, the governor of Illinois and the mayor of Chicago said was quite right. You've got these troops being deployed from out of Texas coming into an area they have absolutely no idea about to essentially do policing work, which we all know the military, they're not the police. The military has a policing component called the military police, which is a component to police the military itself. But the military has never been put in a position of policing citizens, as in, i.e., your local police or sheriff or constable or marshal. The training you get to become a soldier and the training you get to become a policeman are two different types of training. All policemen know, to an extent, certain laws. They understand Miranda. They understand Bernelli versus California. They understand certain laws, because certain laws they have to have a general or a broad view understanding of to deal with citizens. They got to know when they can have probable cause or when it is. Oh my God, 10 minutes past the hour. Welcome to hashtag Truth Be Told. Welcome to JD Live, your early morning get up, wake up. We are broadcasting live on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, at the JDMS. On YouTube, we are at 100 BLK Media. I'm never in here by myself. To be exact, right now, family, if ever you need to pick up a book and start reading, now is the time. Now is the time that reading is more than fundamental than ever, because you need to know where we came from, our past. You need to know where we're at right now, our presence, and you definitely need to have a clear understanding of where we may be going. My resident Lamar Burton, you know him from the Griot podcast and the Sean P Experience. Y'all give it up. My man Sean P is in the building. What's up, Sean?
What up? What up? What's going on, family, man? Like you said, it's a good time to read, and I have a phenomenal read right here, Joe. The
Come
book
on
is
now.
called The Three Mothers: How the Mothers of MLK, James Baldwin, and Malcolm X Shaped a Nation. I'll be interviewing the author tomorrow on the Sean P Experience, and this is a phenomenal book about the incredible women that shaped these guys' lives. We need to put more respect on the women that poured into these guys from birth, the amazing minds that they had, the tenacity, the resilience, all these things that these guys embody, that came from somewhere, not just their daddies, their mothers, and it's sinners, Black women.
Listen, John, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this the best way I can. Somebody said this to me yesterday, and it finally sunk in. 58 years of me living, it finally sunk in. Ain't nothing like your mama. I mean, it finally sunk in. It took me really to understand why us as men sometimes look, especially when we're fathers, husbands, significant others, partners, we say, man, these kids just don't give me my respect. It's because ain't nothing like your mama.
Now, Joe, both of us love sports. You know, a boy, a daddy, go out there in that field and throw the ball with you and tackle you and all that, and shoot 1,000 jump shots in the morning, the whole nine. That boy get to the draft podium. I want to thank my mama, grandmother, like, you know what I'm saying? That's more often than not. That's what they said.
And I just think it has to be, it's hard to describe a son-mother bond. It's almost like really when you are active in your children's life. It's hard to describe that daughter-father bond when it's really there. And it just seems to be that sometimes opposites attract. And for some odd reason, we hard on our boys. Mama always be the one to soften up everything. And it's just like mama hard on them daughters, but we the ones that, oh, come here, baby girl. Daddy got you. So, but yesterday, a friend of mine said to me, ain't nothing like a mama. And I had to think about it. The truth be told, hashtag truth be told, daddy will let you down. In some cases, mama will let you down. But in most cases, mama always gonna be there through the ups, the downs, the good, the bad. And mama gotta hustle hard to make sure you got shoes on your feet, food on the table. Mama gonna do, now mama might not tell you she had to hook up with daddy to make that happen. See, you might not know the whole story until you get in your 50s, your 40s, or your elderly days, and you look back and say, well, doggone it.
How she did. No, on Forrest Gump, that man said, your mama care about your education, boy. Your mama
care about your education, boy.
But Joe, I had a pleasure about 5 years ago. I won the Visionary of the Year award here in Lafayette, right? It is my first time doing the acceptance speech in my life, honestly. And to sum it up real fast for the show, I spoke about my mama letting me be a visionary from a child. Everything I said, Mom, I want to do this. She always said, well, all right, then. She never told me it was impossible or no, you can't do it, you can't be it. She allowed me to dream widely from an early age. And I think that's why at this point in my life, I don't feel apprehensive about trying something new, trying something different. I'm gonna write a book. Okay. First time writing the book.
Let go.
I'm gonna go to college in my 30s, going to college in my 30s. I'm gonna try going to college. Okay.
Let go.
Like whatever it is, I'm gonna start my own gym in small town Franklin. Okay, let's do it. So that gave me that confidence to take those leaps that I've taken. You know what I'm saying? That's mama right there.
Right. You know, and man, I just want to say this. If your mama still breathing, this might be a good time to go to her, pick up the phone if you ain't spoke to her in a minute, Make your way to her if you live far from her. Just put your arms around her and give her a hug. Same for your daddy. Same for your daddies need love too.
You know, Joe, it breaks my heart. Some people that have a tumultuous relationship with their mother for whatever the reason is. I really hurt seeing that because I could imagine if that was me, that would break my heart.
Oh yeah.
If my mom and I didn't get along, it didn't have a great rapport, and Joe, unfortunately, some mamas call their children the B word, Joe. Some mamas curse their children out. If my mama called me the B word, what that would do to Sean P, I don't even know, bro. I would even stomach that. And I really pray for those relationships and those bonds to get healed and mended. You know what I'm saying?
So, John, on another tip, I've been thinking about how am I going to talk about this, but I need to talk about this for a brief minute. It's 17 minutes past the hour. To my Trail Ride Nation out there, I like to ring the bell.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
And I want to give a round of applause. Here's why. Because I'm a professional. Remember that, Sean. I tell people when it comes down to this media and PR thing, folks have tried to jump on my bandwagon. I'm often imitated, but never duplicated. So let me say this as clearly as I can. Let me ring the bell again. And let me give a round of applause. Trail Ride Nation, you showed up this weekend, and for 3 days, there was probably 3,000 to 4,000 plus people in the city of Opelousas at the Yambly building, and nobody got shot. Nobody got killed. There was no incidents of any shooting. When we get together, and there might have been a few altercations, because when there's alcohol and young folks, there might be some altercations, but nobody got shot and nobody got killed in 3 days. 3 days. And I'm telling you, every day there was 3,000, 4,000 plus people. That I will compliment. That deserves a round of applause. That was a good thing. Now, however, during the course of this event, there is a video going out of a young man pulling out a gun, brandishing it, and waving it at the crowd.
Yes, we gotta address that.
That's not acceptable. However, one bad apple don't reflect on everybody else. So let me say the following. I applaud the Trail Ride Nation for having a safe trail ride where nobody got shot. There was no incidents of shooting. There was no incidents of gun violence. Now, a person brandishing a gun is not good either. Thank God that whatever happened, there was not a trigger that was squeezed during that incident. However, that's the difference between knowing the law and talking Facebook, social media, all this garbage we talk and try to act like we lawyers and law scholars. At the end of the day, brandishing a gun and pointing it at people, that's breaking the law. And let me say the following. I pray that the young man that had the gun, when they identify whoever he may be, was an individual who could have a gun. Because if so, then we got to go down another rabbit hole. But if not, and that was an illegal weapon in the possession of a felon or a person who shouldn't have had a gun, we go down another rabbit hole. But nevertheless, nobody should go to any event and have to worry about somebody pulling out a gun and pointing it at them. That's wrong. But let's push that to the side and talk about the 3-day event, 3,000 to 4,000 plus people every day. And there was nobody shot, killed. Now, that makes me roll over into the state of Illinois and Chicago, where crime statistics are on a downward trend. But we're deploying National Guard, federal troops into that area. Now, once again, I'm confused because the last time I checked, Sean P., when you get a check from the government in the military, it is a government check, right? Okay, so how we cutting checks to deploy folks into regions when the government is shut down? I'm curious.
That's a great question. Phenomenal question.
See, I woke up this morning after they said Chicago about to get invaded. I remember that my hometown of Memphis, they talking the same talk. We about to put these troops in Memphis.
And possible New Orleans. Possible.
Okay. So I'm asking, okay, I don't have a problem with anything that deters crime. I don't. Everybody wants to live safe. Everybody wants to be safe, but y'all got to pay attention. Does deploying the military in your town deter crime really? Let's just be honest. That's the question. See, and here's the funny thing. I've been wanting to ask these so-called conservative Republicans, show me the numbers that prove that deploying these folks will deter crime. Show me the numbers before they got there and show me the numbers after they got there. Because guess what, Sean? I will embellish, you will embellish. I will lie, you will lie. Folk will lie, women lie, men lie. Guess what? Don't lie. Numbers don't lie.
And all the stats on the different cities and states that have been more militarized over the years, they have not shown drastic reduction in crime.
So
that what the book say.
so here comes the next question. I'm an old country boy from Memphis, Tennessee. Here comes the next question. That question is, if I pull up the numbers of the most violent states in the United States of America with the worst crime stats, Illinois not in that number. Now, Chicago, the city of Chicago might be in that number, but the state of Illinois not in that number. So here comes my next question. If all this crime is going on places, why ain't you deploying troops where all the crime stats are showing that crime is going on at? Why are you targeting these cities and these states that are under Democratic leadership? Are you trying to tell people or paint the narrative with the propaganda machine that if you want to live in peace and if you want to live in harmony, live in a Republican state? Because we ain't talking about Little Rock, Arkansas. We ain't talking about Jackson, Mississippi. We ain't talking about places in the South that the crime rates are super high. We ain't talking about Dallas, Texas. That, we ain't talking about places where we know for a fact, and we're not talking about New Orleans. But at the end of the day, here's the crazy thing. As a governor or a mayor over these cities with high crime rates, shouldn't you be asking the federal government to help you more with your policing? Because Sean, and I know, Sean, you work for a security company. The training that you received to become a security / what we call, I have the cops call it a crazy name. I don't call it that. To be an individual who's not a policeman, but still will protect and serve places, things.
I'm still licensed by the state board of Louisiana.
Right.
Louisiana State Board.
As a licensed security professional who is trained to be armed, but doesn't have what we call post certification. You haven't been to post because you decided that you wanted to go the security route. You made a decision. You said, man, I don't want to take on this thing called policing, but I want to serve. As a person who is a security professional, myself as a law enforcement officer, then both of us, you a former sailor, be a former soldier. I know for a fact the training I got in basic training in AIT to be a soldier or a sailor ain't nothing like the training I got to become a police officer.
Yeah, straight up.
The rules of engagement is totally different in war than it is in policing.
And Joe, I said it before weeks ago, before those that didn't see it, in my field of work, some of the worst officers ever in our work, they came from the policing world and they're not understanding the lines of demarcation, how you approach something as me versus Joe. That's not the same thing.
Right. There
are lines of
when you are now I just want to say this. When you are a security professional, you have certain things you can and cannot do by the law. In the state of Louisiana, like many other states, we have dual laws here. We're open carry and concealed carry. Long as you're legal. Now, key word, long as you're legal. What is legal? You have to be 18 years old of age and have no felonies on your record. Talk to me. Turn your mic on. Talk to me.
But Joe,
yeah,
where the trick part come at, you got to clarify this. Depend on the location where you are. There's still certain places, even though we're concealed carry and all of that, you can't bring your gun in here. So in my job, how would they come against is you can't bring your gun in here. Go in your car in the parking lot, put your gun up, but you can't bring it in here.
So even though we're open carry, concealed carry, there's still restrictions on where you can and cannot carry. For example, even though you can't at the hospital, you cannot conceal or open carry at a hospital. At most shopping malls, you cannot conceal or open carry. How do I know? I'm on duty. I have to go get some paperwork from somebody that works in a mall or a testimony or a statement because I am a public information officer. And many times I have to go and hear what the witness says also because reporting it to the news, I got to hear it from the horse's mouth. Reviewing the tape and hearing it from the horse's mouth, but sometimes the same or a little bit different. So I go to a mall to interview a person. Security at the mall walks up on me and says, "Excuse me, sir, you cannot have that weapon in here," until I turn around and show him my badge and say, "Sir, I'm here to interview somebody. I tried to call your front office, but y'all don't answer the phone because I understand y'all are out here making sure everything is good in the mall. But I couldn't wait for y'all to answer the phone. I'm headed to this place to ask this lady, does she have a minute to take a break to answer some questions?" The response of security in the mall is, "No problem, officer. You have a great day, sir." But if you are a normal citizen and you walking around looking like John Wayne in the mall, guess what they're going to tell you? "Excuse me, sir. This mall is not an open carry mall. You have to take that weapon and secure it back into your vehicle." And they may walk you out to the vehicle with you to make sure that you do that. And they have all the legal right to do so.
I want to mention the location part back to the trail ride thing, just for an example. I don't know the jurisdiction at that particular locale what that was. I don't know what the rules are at that place. But only for the audience to consider possibility if it's not. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So I will listen. I want to applaud the parish president, Jesse Bellard, because he did make a statement. Him and an individual that works for him. Many folks have given up on these trail rides. These trail rides, you see the videos, they go viral. These trail rides have a lot of negativity that normally goes with them. Now, that doesn't mean that folk are going out there looking to cause problems at trail rides. It's just sometimes, listen, you get a lot of folks together with alcohol and you know, emotions and all other stuff running, things can happen. That's why I will say the following. I applauded the trail ride this weekend because I'm the one that gets that call. I'm the one that gets the call. So-and-so got shot. So-and-so is dead. I need you to talk to the media. Stand up. Man, I was on pins and needles all weekend long. Never got that call. And for that, they get a round of applause.
Now, Joe, let me give an objective outside looking in point of view, right? I'm from Franklin, Louisiana, for the audience. For those listening like nationally or even internationally, the whole of Louisiana not one big thing. So where I'm from, we're not really big on trail ride. I've never in my life gone to a trail ride, but I work in cabin crew. So most of my co-workers spend their whole life going to trail ride. They tell me the stark difference between whenever they was going back in the day versus the past X amount of years, the drastic change in the environment, if you will. So I've heard some of the rumblings of what's being said. You know what I'm saying? I never experienced it personally. I'm just saying how it used to be versus whatever's happening now, whatever that is.
Hey, when I first got to Louisiana, I never knew what a trail ride was. Never heard of it. Never knew what it was. I was up in northern Louisiana. I tell people all the time, when I was at Grambling State University, northern Louisiana is an extension of Mississippi and Texas and Arkansas. That's really not Louisiana. When I came down to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, now mind you, BatonRouge, Louisiana is literally 1 hour away from Lafayette, Louisiana. 1 hour.
And Franklin, 45 minutes. Franklin, 45 minutes time.
And I'm here to tell you, And I'm telling you, an hour away, 45 minutes away, and it's a whole different world. It's a whole
the language, the dialect, the food.
The dialect, the food, the culture is totally different. When I tell you that I live in the middle of Trail Ride Nation, this is Trail Ride Nation here. And guess what? This boots on the ground. Everybody talking about 803 Fresh. 803 Fresh got the song. He ain't got the culture. The culture been here. The culture been going on around here.
So, Joe, you being an OG, what about the old school stepping strut? I heard the stepping strut was the big, the main event. I heard.
So listen to me. I've been here in Lafayette now going 14, 15 years. I myself have never been to a stepping strut. I've heard about stepping strut. Never. Listen to me. Once again, I didn't until just a few years ago get immersed into this Zydeco trail ride type of living. I was always just a Memphis boy. And anybody who knows Memphis music in Memphis, we ain't accordion Zydecoing. That ain't what we do. We the blues. We the straight up blues. We the blues, like old boy was singing in Sinners. That's what we now that juke. I'm a juke joint specialist.
But Joe, what about the Black Rodeo at the Cajun Dome? I used to love that. Whenever I was dating my wife 10 years ago, I went to the Black Rodeo, my first time going to a rodeo in my life. You know what I'm saying?
And if you were there, you probably saw me because I always rode my horse in the rodeo.
That Cupid and all that at the time, Cupid and Trucker and Nate.
Listen, a lot of folks don't know. There's some great folks who come from this area. Cupid, I know everybody out there. Everybody know Cupid. They know the Cupid Shuffle. Cupid and our investment. Cupid lives not too far from where I live.
Joe, whenever I was going out years ago, I remember him at the little hole in the wall club.
Come on now.
Didn't know who he was. We didn't know it was no.
Hey, he ain't new to this. He true to this. Yeah, and there's some great people. Listen, for those of you who are into the Southern gangster rap, that's what it is, Southern gangster rap. Man, we got DJ Dobie Devious, who is the DJ, used to be still the DJ for them Underground Kings. Come on now, Pimp C. Come on now, long live Pimp C. Bun B.
Yeah, we got to tell them, man. Old school DJ Fab back in the day. I was carrying DJ Fab records, Joe.
Fab down in Morgan City. And we got some. Listen, DJ. I went to college with DJ Jubilee. Get it ready now. Hold on, I can tell you about Grambling State in the Sweat Box. That's the name of the club. We called it the Renaissance. But on campus, we said go to the Sweat Box and sweat it out, because it had absolutely no air, but would be packed full of us getting in there, get it ready. Listen, when I tell you, and that's why when I hear old boy in Georgia singing about the country girl and all that, hey, 803 Fresh, the South got it going on. Y'all might, I understand everybody was LL Cool J in New York City, and then all of a sudden it was Ice Cube, and everybody was on the West Coast with Snoop Dogg. But let me tell you something. Everything originated right down chill.
And man, Joe, I got a phenomenal book where the sister break down even Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, Too Short, all these guys, they're from the South, bro. They got Southern roots. So even with them being on the West and the East, they still from the South.
So listen, man. Good morning to everybody. I see folks logged in on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook family. Good morning, Brother James Vincent. That's my brother back home in Henderson, Tennessee, better known as Simple City, where I was raised. I was born in Memphis, but raised in Henderson. Check it out on the map. Henderson ain't that big. Henderson might have 7,000 residents. I was born in a small rural country. I was raised in a small rural country town. I was born in the big city of Memphis 10. Like I said, I don't get this. This troop deployment, it's never good when you deploy people who are trained to be soldiers into civilian populated areas.
Joe, tell me you saw the picture, Joe. Tell me you saw the picture.
I have. So soldiers know how to be soldiers. And guess what? When you talk to most folks who join the military, especially at a young age, guess what they tell you? They joined the military to blow stuff up. That's what they tell you. That's what they tell you. Hey, why'd you join the military? I wanted to blow some stuff up.
Because, Joe, in your police training and my security training, really what I'm doing, we're so big on de-escalation and, the soft gloves and all that. Everything about the military was about knocking head. There was no de-escalation training.
We were talking about blowing stuff up. Hold it. Do you see the target? Hold it. I used to remember before I became an officer, when I was in the reserves and I was working with the artillery, because I was an artilleryman. I was actually a 13 Charlie, fire direction. I used to look at my sergeant and I say, Sergeant, should we not fire for effect? Sergeant say, no, we should take out the whole grid. Restructure that fire solution, take them howitzers off, fire 2 rounds of illumination, and call MLRS. And I said, what's an MLRS? He said, it's a rocket that takes out the whole grid. We wasn't trying to shoot for, I'm trying to fire for effect, forget a fire for effect. He said, take the whole grid out. We about blowing stuff up. Thinking about blowing stuff up. Right now in Kansas City, folks are saying, what the hell happened? What the hell? Sunshine.
That's my team, man. That's my team, man.
Sunshine rolled. Hold it. That's why I've been calling them Sunshine ever since I saw Remember the Titans. But Sunshine and Jacksonville rolled in, and Sunshine said, I'm going to do some Sunshine type stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all put your hands together. My man, Elijah Dixon, is in the building. Elijah with sports. Good morning, Elijah.
Good morning. Good morning. How y'all doing?
Travis Hunter is who they say Travis Hunter is.
Travis Hunter started the first game. Was the first person to start a game offensively and defensively last night against the Kansas City Chiefs in that wild 28-24 win. Trevor Lawrence stumbled and got up and picked himself up.
That's Sunshine. If I wouldn't remember the Titans, my name ain't Joe.
Twice. Couldn't even get his balance and got up and then ran in the end zone. So, with that being said, it was a wild NFL week. You had teams like that go down. You've seen Baltimore get blown out. You've seen a lot of things that happen. I got a question for y'all. Do y'all have a game that you could really look at and be like, hey, this team is really coming up? I mean, including the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think that's a team that's coming up, and we should stop sleeping on them. I know the Kansas City Chiefs lost yesterday, but I don't think
don't sleep on KC. Damn sure don't sleep on Philly. Don't sleep on Philly. Damn sure don't sleep on Philly. Once again, I done told you. Jackson 5. Starting 5.
All right, I got you. And now what about this one? Dillon Gabriel had his first start. The Browns still lost.
Mm-hmm.
The Browns still lost. They lost 21-17, but Dillon Gabriel played a decent game. 19 for 33 with 2 touchdowns, no turnovers. They lost on a last-minute drive. Carson Wentz get down the field and hits, I think, Jordan Addison for a touchdown out there in London. Do you think that's enough for Dillon Gabriel to keep his starting position right now? I mean, I know they got guys behind him, including Shador.
Give me Shador. Give him to me. I got to see what's happening, man. Just give him to me. Give me one game. Let's see what he do. They did that in preseason. Give me one game. Let's see what he do. I'm just saying.
How you feel about it, Sean? Because we got a lot to get through.
Yeah. I think because they traveled, they went across the pond and do all this stuff. He had a very, very short prep time. Give him like one more week to get a full out week of prep and everything. And then after that, give me Shador.
All right. And then coming into the WNBA world, the Mercury and the Aces, the A'ja Wilson is looking for, I think they're going to win 4 titles in 5 years, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
That is game 3. The Aces look dominant in both games. The first game, the bench was the big factor. Second game, A'ja Wilson, she came alive. Third game, was gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen tomorrow. I'm sorry. So we're gonna have. What do you feel like for the A'ja Wilsons and the Las Vegas Aces? Do you think those ladies will pull it out for the 4th time in 5 years?
I do. Give me 4.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Give me 4.
All right. Over in baseball, the Dodgers are actually.
Give me a timeout, Coach. Before you transition, what about the whole possibility of the lockout situation? What's your thoughts about that real quick, Elijah?
For WNBA?
Yes, sir.
All right, we get into that. I think that I think it's helpful because I think the women do deserve to be paid more. It's just that, you know, knowing how stingy these guys, these billionaires now are.
So the commissioner be fired. I mean, not fired, but like step down kind of a thing.
That's the thing. I mean, we could blame I think the commissioner, even if you get a new commissioner, like I don't know what the owners would do because the owners are using the commissioner as a puppet to me. Like they just, hey, you go say this. I'm telling you what we're gonna pay you. I'm letting you know right now. I don't think that it's you know, we could blame the commissioner, we could blame people like that, but me personally, I just think it's time for I just think it's that time that they do get paid more. I hope the negotiations work out more, but I don't know how or who will lead it because you got people like Angel Reese in the media saying basketball is I get paid more. I get paid to play basketball, but I'm paid to be pretty, stuff like that. Like, you know,
Right.
My side hustle pay more. You don't go out and say that if you want more money on the basketball court. You don't have somebody that is one of the faces of the brand say
Right.
that on the basketball court. So it's like, so they can make a close argument. You know, get a second hobby. Right? I mean, Angel Reese doing it. So
Right.
That's the major problem is even though they are getting more ratings, they're getting more money, they still so far in the red to the NBA for all them years carrying them 25 whatever years it's been. Like y'all so far in the hole to even catch up to be able to be on the positive side. You know what I mean?
Well, the business of sports is always going to be the business of sports. As I always tell people, we idolize these athletes. I want to be the person in the back office signing some checks. Can you please tell me who was the owner of the Bulls when Michael was at the Bulls? Who was probably walking who was probably walking around looking, nobody knew who he was, probably walking around, was escorted around, drove around, chauffeured around, but was living his best life, and he was writing Mike's checks. So at the end of the day, Mike couldn't go nowhere without security and 50 folk flocking him, while this guy walking around probably in some old Navy jeans and an Altamar, a real Altamar that was probably about $500,000 on his wrist, walking around and folk going, man, who that dude in the jeans over there? Oh, there ain't nobody. That's somebody. He owned the Bulls. Okay. The business is always the business. I know you were getting ready to go somewhere else, Elijah, but before you do, I got to throw this in. Football this weekend about to get serious. Collegiately, it's about to get serious.
I mean, I was going to ask you.
So South Kakalaki is coming into Death Valley. Watch out. Listen, I love me some Tigers. We need to talk about Kyron Lacy, but let me say this. Y'all need to pay attention, number 11 LSU, because South Kakalaki might be the one to say, come here. Okay, Tennessee. Rocky Top, you'll always be. Home sweet home to me. But guess what? Pig Suey coming into town, and we love barbecue in Tennessee. Y'all best have your mind on putting some pig on the pit. That might be what you need to say in one of your little lies today. Tennessee, are we gonna put pig on the pit this weekend?
Yeah, they got a big one. They got a big one coming in, and they know it. They know it, especially after last year loss out there in Arkansas. To be honest with you, Arkansas beat them 4 times in a row, so they're looking to close that door a little bit, and you know, because they got a tough schedule. You know, from Arkansas they jumped to Alabama. They're from Alabama. I think they got like New Mexico State. They're from New Mexico State. They got Oklahoma. So they got a tough road. But what I was gonna ask y'all for this, I want to say you could give me 2 or 3. Who is your contenders? Who is your pretenders right now in NCAA football? Contenders and pretenders.
Go ahead, Sean. I got my 2. I
mean,
might go with 3.
Contender, I'm always Alabama, roll tide, and I like Penn State. I like the Penn, right? Pretending, I'm gonna say LSU, unfortunately. Pretending, man, but the both sides, Florida Gators, and I'm gonna go South Carolina, man. In that pretender, I think they don't get waking up, don't get shaken up a little bit.
Okay, my 2 contenders: Ohio State, and the U. Oh, the U ain't playing. The U ain't playing. The U might be the baddest boys in the NCAA. The U, oh, they ain't playing. Okay, pretending. A part of me think Bama pretended because they want to be Saban Bama, but they can't be Saban Bama. Somebody else, I think, that might. Somebody else that might be pretending, but they really ain't got nobody to play against. But we're going to find out because it look like UCLA done woke up. We're going to find out what Oregon really looking like real soon. Because I don't think Oregon who they say they are. They look good. I know Nike got them looking good. But looking good don't always equate to playing good. I'm sorry, Prime. I have a different philosophy with that. Sometimes you got to have what it takes, regardless what the uniforms look like.
Now,
that's it. That's it. And in HBCU football,
go ahead, man.
SWAC football, it's really getting serious. You got Grambling, Texas Southern coming into Grambling. That's going to make a decision because if Grambling loses that game, that's it. As bad as Southern University has played, and Southern University has played horrible this year, do you not know that the equation is set forth that if Southern doesn't lose a game from here on out, they will make it to the SWAC championship?
What?
Mathematically, if Southern does not lose a game from here on out, now they can't lose one. They lose one and they done. But if they win every game from here on out, they will go to the SWAC championship and probably play Alabama State because the biggest game in the SWAC this weekend is homecoming at the Jackson State University where they got a white tiger. Only person I've ever seen with a white tiger is Stigma and Floyd, but that's them and their white tiger. But they will be hosting the Honeybees. And you already know that Florida A&M got sued and fined for making some derogatory comments about the Honeybees. The Honeybees are the big girls that dance for Alabama State. But Alabama State will be making their way into Veterans Memorial Stadium for homecoming. And will they be a homecoming killer and solidify that in the East, will they be the beast of the East? Because whoever wins between Jackson and Alabama State will be probably the champions of the East to play in the SWAC championship against whoever come out of the West. And Southern still has a chance to come out the West. It's either going to be Southern or Prairie View. Right now, a lot of folks are putting their money on Prairie View, on PV. Yeah, that's it.
All right, this is my last topic before I go. Got that early presser today. So, quick question for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even a question. Prayers goes up to Kyron Lacy. Kyron Lacy was accused of a car accident that he didn't cause. They said that he was driving, changed lanes, and caused the accident when video just recently showed, probably 2 days ago, that he was 72 yards away from the incident. And then if you see the video, the car accident happened. He just looked at it and rolled around. What most people do.
What we all would do if a car accident happened in front of us.
So he rolled around and he went. So when he was accused of this thing, it was somebody has passed away that was former military. He was accused, and police was telling him what to say. They were telling him what to do. He was supposed to plead guilty. He was supposed to do all this stuff, take these charges that he had nothing to do with. I'm not going to sit here and put that is why he committed suicide. I'm not going to say that because I wasn't in those shoes. I'm not going to speak for nobody, but I'm going to say this. I think it played a major toll on his life, and mentally he was not there because of what was going on, and it affected his future of possibly playing in the NFL and living out another part of his dream, because one part of his dream was playing for LSU, and living out another part of playing professional football in the likes with Jaden Daniels and Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas, with that miraculous crew that was with the Tigers back in 21, 22. So
hold it. And him and Neighbors was a Lafayette crew. That's Como and LCA, baby. That boy started off playing for the Raging Cajuns at UL, transferred. Lacy was a hometown hero here in Lafayette. So was Malik Neighbors, who Malik is now out with his injury. And you heard what he said. They set my friend up they set my friend up. Keep talking, Elijah, and then I'll jump in. Go ahead.
What I'm just gonna say is, I just want to say, out on this record, rest in peace. Prayers goes out to the Lacy families. I just think that I just pray and hope that you guys find peace throughout this whole thing. I know this is a tough situation because there's nobody in this world wants to get in trouble or do something that they don't want to do, or even if they get in trouble, it's for something that they didn't do. We don't want to stand on that. Like, he didn't do it. You try to put him in a place that he say that he did do it, knowing what the outcome will be. And we all knew, and if you did know Kyra Lacy, he was a really, really genuine dude. He was a happy dude, and he really loved he really loved somebody, even if he never met you before. He would talk to you like it was you met him throughout some other life before. So my last statement is, go ahead and before Joe and Sean take over, I just want to say again, rest in peace to the Lacy family, and I hope that you find peace in the situation.
Hey, go ahead and tell them about the Fitz take, man. Get on up out of here, and we'll take over from here.
All right, man. Thank you guys for like, sharing, subscribing. We did shoot an episode on Sunday. It was supposed to come out soon. Excuse me, real quick.
Bless you.
Out soon. Thank you.
God bless you.
But, one of our platform that we use, the recording that we use, I should say, kind of messed up. So we're gonna redo it again tomorrow on Wednesday on my off day. So again, I just want to say thank y'all, love y'all, and I appreciate the time that you guys have given us. Also on this platform as well. You gotta love Sean and Jill for what they do. And just say thank you for the opportunity to be up here and talk sports and also talk freely. So thank you guys.
Put that pig on the grill this weekend. We'll talk to you tomorrow, man, for Working Out Wednesday. You be good. That was Elijah in sports. Now back to the Kyra Lacy. We need to stay on this for a minute. Yes, sir.
You're the law enforcement professional, and you're currently in school, I believe, for criminal justice. Yeah. Okay. But with this case, clearly some people were sitting on footage and sitting on manipulating, massaging things, correct?
Correct. However, Sean, this is the reality. One thing I can tell folks, I'm in Walden University right now in my PhD classes for criminal justice, and I have a good friend. Big ups to Dr. Rick Swanson, who is a political science professor at UL. Very good friend of mine, getting ready to retire, who speaks to me and say, man, you kind of old in the game, but what is your plans? And I do want to teach, but I really don't want to teach at a university level. I want to get into teaching with the FBI, with the CIA, with different law enforcement agencies, to give classes to professionals who are out there in the field, but have the knowledge and the wherewithal to tell them, this is what I dealt with, this is what the book says, and somewhere in the middle, this is where I believe we need to be. Unfortunately, what folks don't understand is the law can work for you, and that same law can work against you. I know what we saw, and I know what the court of public opinion says. I morally completely agree with the court of public opinion. Now, I need to educate y'all for a second, because I had to get educated on this. Morally, in the court of public opinion and social media opinion, may not be what the law really says. That's where you have to understand why elections matter, because these are the legislators who make the law. Okay? Understand that. The law is made by legislators. The law is enforced by the judicial system. It's interpreted by the judicial system and enforced by the law enforcement. That's why it's law enforcement. We enforce the law. If the law says you don't do this and you do it, we are the people who say, we are the people who apprehend you, and your judgment for your penalty for doing what you shouldn't have did will be enforced by the judicial system. See, a lot of us don't get all that. That's why we always say the cops are bad. Well, there are some cops that are too excessive. There are some cops that do some things that are completely not right. but there are a lot of human beings that do a lot of stuff that's not right. So just because you got a bad person in an honorable uniform don't mean the profession is not honorable. It just means that person is not honorable in that uniform. Unfortunately, I don't know how the law is going to play out with this Laci situation. Because once again, if I recall right, there was a person called Ronald Green who also had a similar incident. If not, it's not the same, it's similar with the state police. And if I recall right, I don't think with the Ronald Green beating that was on video where they lied and said he did this, he did that, I don't think anybody got convicted of that. If I'm not 100% sure, I got to look at the case law, but I don't think nobody got convicted. Nobody got punished. People got to retire. People kept their pensions. Guess what? And Ronald Green is dead. So if Ronald Green is dead, and it was clearly that they lied, everything they said that happened that night didn't happen. The video footage proves it didn't happen, but nobody faced any consequences of their lying and their taking of this man's life. What do y'all think is going to come in the state of Louisiana with Kyron Laci? And I'm still confused because one thing they love here in Louisiana is LSU and LSU football players. And there got to be something more to this that I don't know about. Because how in the world would you even make a beloved LSU player look like the villain? Talk to me, Sean. Maybe there's something I'm missing.
Now, Joe, reading all these old books about old things from the 1920s and before that would happen, way before we had smartphones and footage, it would always seem like that they only had footage to prove he didn't rape that person or and they could prove he didn't do this, it'd have been better. But we seeing in this generation, even with camera footage, they're gonna still say things not always what it seems.
Right. I mean,
look, the whole George Floyd thing, that dude still almost got off on that.
Right.
He almost got off. Don't forget, it wasn't no easy shut door thing. He almost still got off on it.
Well, you gotta look at Trayvon Martin. I mean, listen, family. Once again, I'm gonna say this again. I'm gonna say it where nobody misinterprets what I say. Morally, my moral compass and what I have seen thus far, I have some serious doubts about what was said, what was put on paper, and how this young man was painted to be a villain when it appears he was not a villain at all. From what I've seen thus far, do I work for the state police? No. Am I at the AG's office? No. Do I have enough knowledge to make a conclusion legally of what happened? No. However, from me being a normal, regular citizen and seeing what I saw, from where I saw it from and from the angle I saw it from, Mr. Laci had absolutely nothing to do with the accident, and he did the same thing I would have did because I've done that before. There has been an accident, 3 or 4 cars, 2 cars ahead of me, and when the accident occurred, I kept going. And this was before I worked in law enforcement.
Yeah.
I have also had an accident happen, and I've been 10 cars behind it. It happened in Karen Crow on the highway. And I'm the first person to pull over in my unit and run and give aid to one of the people who was in the flipped over car. I actually pulled the young man out the car.
So Joe, I don't know how it is in law enforcement, that's a whole different. But in my time doing psychology work, for an example, if it's me and a client having a session, the only thing that matters, Joe, is what I document happened in that session. What literally happened in the session and what I document happened in the session is 2 different universes. And sometimes my supervisor might advise me like, Sean, okay, I understand this, but say it like this.
Right.
Because all of my documents could be used in the court of law.
That part.
Even my current job, certain things happen, hey, Sean, document it like this. Say it like this.
Right.
So I understand the two different universes between reality versus what you type down on that paper, the wording, the verbiage, all of that.
Once again, Sean, I am not here to criticize any individual. We had a robust conversation at the beginning of this podcast about the trail ride. Right now, there is a story in local media about the trail ride on one of the local media stations, where some folks are saying, "Well, what are the media saying?" Well, the media interviewed me, and guess what I said? I didn't say, "Man, this was a horrible trail ride." I said, "We are doing our due diligence as law enforcement. We are investigating the allegations and the video that is circulating around. We are trying to identify said subject in video. And once we have identified that individual, we will question them. And if after questioning them, we see that there are charges that need to be put on this individual, we will do so. If not, we won't. At the end of the day, we're still in the investigation part of this, trying to figure out who is this person? Is that a real gun? And if it, because guess what? They got a lot of BB guns, they got a lot of guns that look like real guns. Hold it. So we have to ask some serious questions, because I don't wake up every morning going, who can I put charges on? That ain't what I do. However, I am sworn to protect and serve. And as my chief says, we are sworn to give protection through service. So I'm supposed to be serving my community, making sure that they're safe. Go ahead, Sean.
You know what, Mr. Joe? My good friend taught me this for the past couple of years. Whenever a story break, we want to be so reactionary. You want to share it, you want to click, you want to comment, you want to. She said, Sean, let's just sit back, eat our popcorn, see how it play out. It might take months to play out.
Right.
But at least we'll be siding on the side of the right thing if we just wait for it to percolate, and you know what I'm saying?
It's 3 minutes past the hour. We're not going to stay too much longer, but Kyron Lacy deserves this. Here's what I will say. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. No man or woman should have so much stress put up on them by the media, by social media, by what the public has to say, that it drives them to have no other recourse but to take their own life. At the end of the day, the Lacy family needs to hold everybody accountable, especially if it comes out in the court of law, or it comes out in a place where they can literally prove that, listen, this young man had absolutely, from what I've seen thus far, my moral compass says this young man had absolutely nothing to do with that accident. Absolutely nothing. That young man took his life. They didn't invite that man to the combine. They put that young man through hell and high water. As you said, they did a pressure tactic on that young man. Admit to it, say you did it. At the end of days, this is how it feels to be a black man in America. I didn't do it. You did it. This is how, I hate to say it. This is that Emmett Till moment. I didn't whistle at that. I didn't whistle at that woman. Yeah, you did. Why? Because she said so. This is how it feels to be a black. Hold it. I'm walking home eating Skittles. I got a hoodie on. This is how it feels to be a black man in America. And guess what? I wish one of you black conservatives would come on here and try to talk some noise right now, because I would drive you until I couldn't drive you no more. It's very sad. And then we want to sit here and folk want to talk about, oh man, the reason Kamala didn't make it in, they trying to put men in women's bathrooms. Man, I ain't got time to hear that. This is how it feels to be a black man in America. I didn't do it. Yeah, you did. Because we said so. Wait a minute, but I didn't do it. I wasn't even there. Yeah, you was. Yeah, you was. See, that comes down to, we all look alike. Man, when are y'all going to wake up? To the Lacy family, pursue every avenue you can to get justice for that young man. because you can't bring them back.
Now, Joe, on the tail end of this whole thing, the brother they found hanging at the university, right? I think after further review, they did find some funny stuff with that case. Have you seen that?
I can only say the following, Sean.
Okay.
And I'll say it from this point of view. How many people you know who take their life by hanging? I'll wait. Just statistically pull that up.
And Joe, they found another one a couple of days ago. I can't remember where. They found another one.
Yeah, in Mississippi, right? A homeless man, right?
No, another one.
Another one.
Couple of days ago. Another one.
So understand this: to climb a tree, find a branch that will hold your weight, and to fashion a noose and hang yourself is not a common way.
I think in Albuquerque.
Okay.
But I told you last time, being a sailor, it's not easy to tie a noose as you think.
Oh,
y'all
no.
watch TV and movies and all that. It's not as easy as you think.
Oh, no.
To tie this thing and hold your body weight as a grown man.
Oh,
bro.
no.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Or to find a branch that will support your weight. Okay. I'm just saying. Family, I say it all the time. Pay attention. This government shutdown is a distraction. Because though the government is shut down, government troops are still getting deployed. Who paying them? Who paying them? The TSA, the FAA, the people who make sure that you can get from point A to point B when you're in the air, they're going to work and they're not getting paid. You think them people really focus? I'm in here trying to focus on air traffic safety and safety at the airport, but I don't know if I'm going to pay my mortgage on my car note. Come on now. But guess who's still getting a check? Congress. Come here. Your local senator, your local congressman still getting a check. Come here. They staff still getting a check. Come here. But the government shut down. Okay, if the government shut down, then you shouldn't be getting a check. The president's still getting a check. His staff still getting a check. Pete Hegseth is still getting a check. The AG is still getting a check. Biden's still getting a check. Everybody in government still getting a check, but the government shut down. Come here. Pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. 8 minutes past the hour. Sean, before I get fired up and wind up stuck here longer than I need to be. Tell us about the book. Tell us about the Griot podcast. Tell us about the Sean P experience. Tell us what you got coming up. Let's get out of here.
If you're going to wrap it up, man, tomorrow on the Sean P experience at 2:30 p.m. This is a rare time, 2:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on YouTube, the Sean P experience. I have the award-winning author coming on the show talking about the three mothers, MLK, Malcolm X, James Baldwin, and how they shaped America. You don't want to miss it. Well, thoroughly researched project. She did her thing with it, man. Definitely go out there and find it and get it. And today, Allen Iverson brand new book just dropped. Go and check it.
AI. What I'm talking about. Family, man, I always appreciate my brother Sean P. Me and Sean P, we like peanut butter and jelly. I'm just telling you. And Elijah come in and we talk sports, but on a serious tip. 9 minutes past the hour. I went a little bit over today. Y'all, we got to pay attention. Everybody who logged in. Oh, I got to give a shout out to James Vincent, Tim Lawson. These are great men in my eyes and from the perspective of what I see. These are men who are out there in the community trying to make the community a better place for all of us. There are great women out there doing the same. I salute all of you. Got to pay attention. And we've got to, for those who are willing to listen, willing to receive, we've got to pour into them. The trying time. Don't be distracted. Don't sit here and watch all the hogwash and the propaganda and not pay attention to what they're really doing. They're really doing a lot. Be better today than you were yesterday. And do something today to bless somebody some way. No matter what you do, no earthly way they could ever pay you back. And always remember that there is no secret what God can do. What he has done for others, he will and he can do for you. But when God is with you, nothing or no one can stand against you. Be blessed. Have a wonderful day. We'll be back tomorrow for Work It Out Wednesday. If the Lord say the same, y'all have a great one. We out of here. Peace.